Five Nights at Freddy's: The Survive, written by Scott Kaufman and Caleb Reed Wishy, read by A. Leah. Oh, that one, ain't. Chapter 1. He sees me. Charlie dropped to her hands and knees. She was wedging a row of arcade games, crammed in the core space between the consoles and the wall. Tangled electrical cords and useless plugs through between her. She was cornered. The only way out was past the thing, and she wasn't fast enough to make it. She could see her stalking back and forth, catching figures of moving through the gap between the games. There was scarcely enough room to move, but she tried to crawl backwards. Her foot caught on a cord. She stopped, contorting herself to carefully dislodge it. Like screen. She heard a crash of metal, and the first cab walked back against the wall. He hit it again, searching the display, then attacked the next, crashing against the almost rigidity, tearing through the melancholy, coming closer. I have to get out! I have to! The panic was of no help. There was no way out. Her arm ached, and she wanted to sob around. Blood flowed through the chanted bandage, and it seemed as though she outside her. The console, a few feet away, crashed against the wall, and Charlie flinched. He was getting closer. He could see the grinding of gears and the clicking of servos. Ever louder. Eyes closed. She could still see the way he looked at her. See the matted hair and the exposed mouth. Beneath the disinfected flesh. Suddenly, the console in front of her was wrenched away. It toppled, hung down like a toy. The power coursed beneath her hands, and knees were yanked away, and Charlie stretched, almost falling. She caught herself, and looked up just to see the downward swing of a hook. Look at you! Who came to your water? Wow, I thought about it. Sherry when he was about to die. Charlie smiled wearily at the sign and kept driving. The road didn't look any different from one side of the sign to the other, but she felt nervous at the distance as she passed it. She didn't recognize anything. Then again, she hadn't really expected to. Not this far at the edge of town, where it was all highway and empty space. She wondered what the others looked like, who they were now. 10 years ago, they had been best friends, and then it happened, and everything ended, at least for Charlie. She hadn't seen any of them since she was 7 years old. They had written all the time as kids, especially Leah, Rafa, who wrote. She talked fast and incoherent. But as they got older, they had grown apart. The letters had grown fewer and further to tree. The conversations leading up to this trail did Personality? What? Personality? Is that even a word? Personality? I thought awkward pauses. Charlie repeated the names as though to reassure herself that she's Nelda, Laura, Jessica, Nala, Carter, John, and Michael. So it sounds to me that there's 4 girls and 3 boys. Okay. Michael, what's the reason for this trip? Oh, it was to want them all together for the bed. Ceremony. They wanted all his own friends there when they announced the scholarship they were creating in his name. Charlie knew it was a good thing to do. Dr. Gary still felt slightly more Thursday? Sorry, I haven't read these words before. She shivered and turned down the air conditioning, even though she knew it was not the cold. As she drew into town together to reorganize a few stories and news series, which was now outlining the solid dust as a hit of the century. Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh wait, that is a thing. She fell for a big known as the dive. Then sighed at herself. What did you expect? That whole thing would be unchanged? A moment to the moment of your deposit frozen forever in July 1985? Well, that was exactly what she expected. She looked at her watch. Still 3 hours to kill before they all met off. She thought about going to the movie, but she knew what she really wanted to do. Charlie made a left turn and headed out of town. 10 minutes later, she pulled to a stop and got out. The house loomed above her. It's a dark outline. Moon in the blue sky. Charlie leaned back against the car, slightly dizzy. She took a moment to steady herself with deep breaths. She had known it would be here, and if they looked through her aunt's bank books a few years before, told her that the mortgage would paid off, and that Aunt Jane was still paying property taxes. It had only been 10 years. There was no reason it should have changed at all. Charlie considered slowly, taking the fading paint. The bed still had a loose wall, and the wolf dresses had taken over one side of the horse. The thorns writing hungry into the wood. The door was locked, but Charlie still had her key. She never actually used it. As she took it from around her neck and slid it into the lock, she remembered her father putting its chain around her neck, in case you ever needed it. Well, she needed it now! The door opened easily, and Charlie looked around. She didn't remember much about the first couple of years here. She had only been 3 years old, and all the memories had faded together in the world of child's grief and loss. If not understanding why her mother had to go away, clinging to her father every moment, not trusting the world around her, unless he was there, unless she was holding tightly to him, burying herself in his flannel shirt and the smell of grease and hot metal and him. The stairs were straight up in front of her, but she did not move to actually do that. Instead, she went into the living room, where all the furniture was still in place. She had not really noticed it as a child, but the house was a little too large for the furniture they had. Things were spread out too widely in order to fill the space. The coffee table was too far from the couch to reach. Keys still too far across the room to carry on a conversation. There was a dark stain in the room floor, but it was in a little inaccessible room. Charlie stepped around it quickly and went into the kitchen, where the cupboards only held a few pots, pans, and dishes. Charlie never felt a lack of anything as a child, but it seems now that the unnecessary immensity of the house was so apology. The eternal man who had lost so much to give his daughter what he could. He'd always feel that he had a way over what he did. Sorry. Right? The last time she was here, the house had been dark and everything felt wrong. She was carried up the stairs to her bedroom, although she was 7 years old and couldn't gone quicker on her own 2 feet. But Aunt Jen stopped on the front door, picked her up, and carried her. She in her feet as though she was a baby in the grey sun. In her room, Aunt Jen set Charlie down and closed the bedroom doors behind her. She told her to pack her suitcase, and Charlie had cried because all her things could now fit into a small case. "We can rest clean to come back later," Aunt Jen said, and patience streaking through as Charlie called indecisively at her dresser, trying to decide which pieces to bring along. They never come back from the rest. Charlie mounted the stairs, heading to her own room. The door was open, and she had a giddy feeling of disappointment. As her younger son might be sitting there among the toys. I looked out and asked Charlie, "Oh, thank you." Charlie went in. Like the rest of the house, her bedroom was untouched. The walls were pale pink, and the ceiling, which stood naturally on one side to follow the line of the roof, was painted to match. Oh, bed still against the wall, or beneath a large window. The mattress was still intact, though the sheets were gone. The window was cracked, slightly open, then, and watching lace curtains wavered in a gentle breeze on outside. There was a dark water stain in the pink blue underneath the window, where the weather had gotten in over the years, betraying the ceaseless regret. Charlie climbed into the bed and forced the window shut. It obeyed with a screech, and Charlie stepped back and turned the temperature to the west room. Her first night in the house, Charlie had been afraid to sleep alone. She did not remember the night, but her father told her about it often, enough that the story had taken on the quality of memory. She sat up and waited until her father came to find her, until he scooted up and held her, promised that he would make sure she was never alone again. Next morning, he took her by the hand and went to the garage. He said that to keep that dozen. But that was a purple rabbit. Now grey from with age from age of sitting in the sunlight, her father had named him Theodore. Theodore the rabbit, seriously. He was the size of a 3-year-old. Her size at the time, and he gets his first furs, shiny eyes, and a dapper red bow tie. That sounds like Barney to me. He didn't do much, only waved a hand and tilted his head to one side, and said in his father's voice, "I love you, Charlie." But it was enough to give her a night watcher, someone to keep her company when she could not see. I now Theodore sat in Katrina in the far corner room. Charlie read it, but not actually did. He did not read it back. After Theodore, the toys got more compressed. Some worked and some did not. Some seemed to have permanent glitches, while others something did not appear to child's new imagination. She knew her father took those back to his workshop and recycled them for parts, though she did not like to watch them dismantled. But the ones that were kept, those she loved, and those they were here now. Her accidentally smiling. Charlie pushed the button beside the bed. He gave way swiftly, but nothing happened. She put it down again. Holding it down longer, this time across the room, on metal. The unicorn began to move. The unicorn, Charlie needed Stanley for some reason she could no longer remember, was made of metal and had been painted grossly white. He turned all around the room in a circular trap, holding his head stiffly up and down. The chair squealed as Stanley rounded the corner and came to a stop beside the desk. Charlie knelt beside the floor, on the floor, and patted his flank. His glossy face was chipped and peeling. He had given over to us. His eyes were lively and gasping out of decay. "You need a new conversation, Stanley," Charlie said. The unicorn started ahead, undauntedly. At the foot of them there was a wheel, made of patched together metal. It always reminded her of something she might find on a summer wing. Charlie turned it. It stuck for a moment, then gave way, rotating as it did across the room. The smallest closet window swung open. Outfield error on her track. A child's side door being on a teacup, and saucer tire like an offspring. Her teacher was crisp, and a pair of shoes still shone. Had the closet have detected some damage of the dam? Charlie and go out the back to see was seeing her. "Hiya," she said softly at the wheel round. Ella into the closet again, the door closing behind her. Charlie called her. The closet had been built to align with the scene, and there were 3 of them. Ella lived in the short one, which was about 3 feet tall. Next to it was a foot or so tall, and the third corner to the bedroom door was the same height as the rest of the room. Nanny, "Why do you have 3 closets?" John had demanded the first time over. He looked at him tightly, confused by the question. "'Cause that's how many there are," he said finally. He pointed defensively at the floor. Well, this was for. "That's one's ours. Anyway," she added. John nodded, satisfied. Charlie stuck her head and opened the door to the lady closet. Oh, tried to. The door stopped. A jolt. It was locked. She rushed in she got time, but gave up without much convincing. She lowered to the floor and glanced towards the closet. The closet that would someday go into you need into your league. Rose would say, but that day never came. The door now so hung open slightly, but Charlie didn't disturb it. It only opened for her. It had only given away the time. As she moved to stand, she noticed something shiny, half hidden under the wind of the locked with the door. She leaned forward to pick it up. It looked like a broken off piece of circuit board. She smiled slightly. Nuts, bolts, glass, and parts had turned over all the face. So the time her father had parts in his pocket, he would carry something he was working on around, set it down, forgetting where it was or where, for something to die for. Safekeeping, never to see again. There was also a sound of her clinging to it. She unwound it carefully from the tiny lip it was stuck on. Finally, as the door she had been totally on, you crossed the room and picked up Theodore. His back has not been in the sun like the rest of the body, and it was the same rich dark purple she would never. She pressed the button at the base of the net, but she remained restless. His hair was fearless. On the ear was hanging loose by a single rotting thread. Down one hole she could, and through the hole she could see the green passage of the door. Charlie had that listening for something. Oh, yeah. The rabbit said with tearing all the heart, And Charlie sat him down. His heart at a time. He had not really expected to hear her father again. So he too. Charlie looked across the room. As a child, it in a old magical world. As he was possessed of it. On your children's hands and you were around inside. She went into her bed and sat standing moody on his jacket. She left, closing the door behind her. The little unicorn came to her. Out the back door to the giant and stopped in front of the guards gathered in the father's workshop. In the gallows away was a piece of metal, and Charlie went to pick it up. It was jointed in the middle, and she held it in her hands, smiling a little as she bent it back and forth. Oh boy, John. So, I wonder who that was going to belong to. She had stood in this exact spot many times before. She had closed her eyes, and the memory overwhelmed her. She was with a girl again, sitting on the floor of the father's workshop, playing with scraps of wood and metal as though they were toy bricks trying to build a town with even pieces. The shower was hot, but she was sweating. Grime sticking to her legs as she sat in her shorts and sneakers. She could almost smell the sharp metal odor of snow being iron. Her father was nearby, never outside, working on Stanley the unicorn. Stanley's face was unfinished, white and shiny and friendly, with a green and brown eye that would seemed almost to see. The other side of the toy's face was all stone circuit doors and little toss. Charlie's father looked at her and smiled, and she smiled back. Walked in a darkened corner behind the father. Very visible, hunger well, metal winds. A twisted skeleton with a fairly silver eyes. Every once in a while, he keeps an uncanny trick. Charlie never tried to look at him, but as a father worked, as he played with a mixed choice, her eyes were all drawn back again and again. The winds could talk to it seemed almost mocking a ghastly gesture, and yet there was something about it that suggested enormity. Daddy, Charlie said, and her father did not. Well, Daddy, she said again, more urgently. At this time, he turned to her slowly. Looked slowly diligent at her. What do you need to do? She pointed at the rusted skeleton. Does it hurt? He wanted to ask the question. But when she looked in her father's eyes, she found she could not. He shook her head. Nothing. He nodded at her with an Eisenstein and went back to it. And the creature gave another awful twist, and his eyes still glared. Charlie shivered and drew herself back to the present. She glanced behind her. Seeing it explode, she looked down, and her gaze fixed on something. Three what these screws on in the ground. She knelt, thoughtful, and ran her finger over one there. The gravel was scattered away. The moss worn heavy into the earth. A camera camera of some sort. It was some the only thing she'd seen. The door to the workshop was cracked open suddenly, inviting, but she felt no desire to go inside. Quickly, she headed back to the car, but as soon as she settled into privacy, her keys were gone. Having probably pulled out of her pocket somewhere inside the house, she retraced her cell nearly into the living room and the kitchen before heading up to her bedroom. There were the keys on the wicket chip. The sign cleared all around it. She picked her and jangled them for the door. Not quite what he was doing the room behind. Down on the bed, standing you caught her stuck beside the bed, as she always did, and she tapped the on the head. Yes. I think I ended the here now. Next time, we continue on.